Back here on BNC Prime News, I'm Anthony Amey, and in the last hour we spoke with Joshua Dobbs, who earned his undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering at the University of Tennessee, that before beginning his NFL career. Here's part two of our conversation with a Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback. We all hear the term all the time, such and such isn't rocket science. Well, by definition, you actually are a rocket scientist. How much do your teammates try to pick your brain about different questions as they relate to space and science?
Actually, a lot. I think, they are very curious because if you look at in our time period, the space shuttle was very integral, and that ended in 2011. So, we haven't seen a human launch from United States soil in about 10 years, which will end, within the month, ideally. But it's been 10 years since we've seen a human launch from American soil. So there's a lot of questions from people, in the sports world, like, hey, what does NASA do? What are they doing? What's their next project? How are they evolving? And what's been going on for the last 9 years? So it's been cool to have a hand in that industry as I studied it. And then it's been even more fun now that I've actually gone down and spent time with NASA, and I can say, hey, this is exactly what they're doing. This has been their plan, and this is their next step. And just be able to share some knowledge. I can't get too technical with them because, as you said, you have to be a certified rocket scientist to get a lot of it. But I am able to show them the big picture, and it's really fun for me to share my knowledge.
All right, so I'm sure many of our viewers are wondering, how did you fall so much in love with science and technology?
It really started when I was younger. I attribute it a lot to my parents. When I was 5 and 6 years old, my parents, starting then, put me in a lot of various different opportunities. Anything from football, baseball, basketball camp and sports, to math, science camps, to even my first trip to the Kennedy Space Center when I was 7. So I first fell in love. We were going family trips. And, the first thing they would say is, you want to fly or drive? And I always wanted to fly because then I had a fascination with aviation. So I would go to the airport, stare at planes, take off and land, look up which airplane we were on. Oh, this was 757. This was 737. Oh, this was an Airbus 321, and kind of figure out what's the differences between all the planes, how they look, who's the manufacturer, what engines did they use. I just became kind of a student of it. And then as I grew, I was really good at math and science, had an interest in it. I went to the Kennedy Space Center when I was 7, which was kind of as shuttle was slowing down, but still peak shuttle period, where they were launching off like 4 shuttles a year. So I was able to see what the shuttle program was. So it really sparked my interest. And I said, hey, when I get to college, aerospace engineering is perfect for me. It's the perfect mix of, hey, I'm interested in aviation and space, and I'm really good at math and science. So that sounds like it's right up my alley.
Well, you're a pretty calm 7-year-old, because I think most of us, even as adults, are just praying. We don't care what size the plane is, just land it safely. Just take off safely and land it safely. All right, well, yeah. I understand the folks at NASA were so impressed. They're already working on getting you back there. Is that the ultimate goal post-NFL career?
I think that's a part of it. As of now, as my main job, of course, is being a quarterback for the NFL and preparing for the season. So with that in mind, when I get opportunities to spend time with NASA, they're truly amazing. I'm trying to gather those opportunities to learn as much as I can, and also to apply some of the material that I learned in college to see what it looks like in the real engineering world. So I plan on playing, in the NFL for a long, long time. But down the road, my ultimate goal is to gather these experiences that I have, and I'm accumulating as the years go by to ultimately make the best decision for what my future looks like then.
How much of a compliment is it that some of the best scientific minds in the world think enough of you to believe that you have the capacity to develop into one of their own down the line?
It's very humbling. It's very humbling, especially you get around them, you get a chance to interact with them, you see how intelligent those people are, and you listen to their backstory, where they're talking about all the shuttle launches that they've seen and the changes in the space program that they've seen and all the countless projects that they've worked on and that they look to work on. So it's humbling for them to say, hey, thank you for coming, and we would love for you to come back and see a whole different side of Kennedy Space Center. So I'm itching to get back down there. to continue to learn, continue to gain more knowledge, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing a couple launches this year as well.
For the kids watching who are wondering how it's possible to be more than just an NFL player, what advice would you give to them to build their minds as well as their bodies?
The biggest advice I'll give to them is, a lot of, I guess, you hear the common cliche is you can't be, an athlete, and you can't be, for me, it was, you can't be an athlete, student athlete, you can't be an engineer, you can't do both. You can't play quarterback and study aerospace engineering. And for me, my whole sentiment is, I try my best in all aspects of my life. And where that comes down to is, when I'm in the classroom, I'm giving 100% effort, and when I'm on the sports field, I'm giving 100% effort. So the same attention to detail, the same enthusiasm, the same passion I have when I step onto a football field when it's game day, that's the same enthusiasm I step into the classroom to learn, or I step into now my externship opportunities to continue to grow my knowledge. So the biggest sentiment I'll give to kids is, no matter what it is, whatever your interests are, give it 100%. Devote your conscious time, effort, and energy to that at that time when you're in it, and then you'll be able to reap the benefits from it. So if you love sports, love school just as much, and if you love school and you love music, love them both as much, and give them the same amount of time, energy, and commitment.
Josh Dobbs, it's been a pleasure. Stay safe. We wish you good health on and off the field, and we all hope you have a great 2020 season and beyond for you and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thanks for joining us here on the Black News Channel.
Always. Thank you for having me. Everyone stay safe, and I appreciate it.